What's up guys, JC Hildebrand from MotorcycleUSA.com. I'm here with what's probably the best off-road bike that I've ridden to date, and it's a factory replica from FMF Off-Road Suzuki team. This is based on the RM-Z450 Motocross bike, and I've always ridden motocross bikes in the woods, but they've never been dialed in for that purpose, but that's exactly what these guys have done, and the bike is really good. There's a few things that kind of come to mind right away. The first is the suspension, obviously. I mean, you can't ride stock sticks. These things have been done by RG3. It's the first time I've ridden anything from that company, and it's so controlled, very plush, you know. I can never tell when I'm bottoming out. I go and look under the fenders and there's black stripes, so I know I'm using the full stroke, but everything's always so controlled and very supple, so it really gives you the confidence to push through the rough stuff, that hacked out, you know, chatter going into the corners and coming out that you tend to get on a lot of the tighter trails. This is built for GNCC racing, and that's no joke, man. GNCC is tough, and this bike's built to take it. They bolted on an IMS tank, 2.6 gallons. It makes the bike look really good. The ergonomics really don't change a whole lot. Motor mods are really very minor. It's got an FMF exhaust system on it. I've ridden the Q4 muffler before on different bikes. I always liked it. It's quiet. I love that. I love quiet bikes, but I've never ridden one with the Mega Bomb header. And you know, I got the bike and the guys were joking around going, careful, it's fast, but they weren't kidding, man. It is really, really fast. The other thing that really saved me a few times is the TM Design Works chain guide. That thing it looks really big and bulky, but it's this really hard plastic material. It doesn't break or bend or stay bent when it hits something, so that's a definite must-have for any off-road bike. It's got an aftermarket piston in it, but other than that, I mean, it's not punched out. It doesn't have extensive work done to it. It's just the standard RM-Z motor and an exhaust system from FMF. A lot of the hard parts around it are built for protection. You got a Cherubies coming in with hand guards. These are some of my favorites on the market. I always like a Cherubies stuff. They also kicked in some of these rubber boots that go around your foot pegs. They use IMS Pro Series foot pegs. This doesn't seem like a real big thing, but I don't know, all this little stuff adds up. That's why it's a factory race bike, you know? The only thing that this bike doesn't have that, you know, Charlie Mullins is running out there in the GNCC series is the RG3 triple clamps. RG3 obviously does the suspension, it's got linkage, and the triple clamps are usually 20mm offset. This bike doesn't have that. That's the one thing we kind of didn't get to test. This thing's a race bike, you know, it's built to race, and so that's what we're doing with it. We've taken it out to an enduro down south in Southern California. We also took it to the national ISDE qualifier in Idaho City. That's a 2-day race, 112 miles a day, and it was freaking gnarly, man. And I know that this bike has definitely made me a lot better at it than I would have been on something else. It's built for that kind of terrain, tight stuff. It handles quickly because it's the RM-Z model, and it can handle the wide open rough stuff too because of the chassis and the suspension mods. They run Renthal bars. The twin walls I've never been a big fan of, so I took the crossbar out. Kind of makes it a little less rigid. It was just kind of beating me up. Makita Suzuki definitely knows what they're doing. They've worked a lot with their off-road program. They don't have an enduro bike. You know, Suzuki doesn't offer an X model. And so this is what they have to work with. You know, they got the motorbike, they've made it conform, and they've spent a lot of time doing it. And these guys, they do it right. So it's no wonder that they're kicking ass out in the GNCC series, and it'll be a sad day when I got to give it back, that's for sure.